Hello, everyone. Good evening,
Hello.
good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you guys in this beautiful world. I
Mhm,
am so happy. We are here again with Coach Dustin. He is very successful in this journey, but today we will be talking about building your dream life, earning while exploring the world with your loved
mhm,
ones.
mhm.
Yes. Hi, Coach
Yes.
Dustin. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you? It's 9 p.m. here in Canada, which is crazy. That's another thing I love about this business is that we can interview from all over the world. Doesn't matter where you are. So,
Yes, that's exactly right. We are global. But today, it's not about interviewing, guys. If you
mm-mm.
are watching us, we'll be sharing, when you're building your dream life and then living that moment, when you traveled and when money is not an issue anymore. So I'm going to share something about my journey before I started this business. I would say 2 years ago, I was working 60 hours to 72 hours a week as a healthcare worker. So pretty much I was burned out, exhausted, and
Mm-hmm.
barely had time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much I think I would say in general that this is most of us struggle, like no time for yourself, no time for your family, and just feeling stuck. Because
Yes.
I remember at that time, Coach Dustin, that I really prayed and asked God that um there's gonna be something, I'm looking for something that can change these situations.
Yeah.
It was like the only thing I was hoping at that time was to get my time back so I
Yeah.
could rest and to spend more time with my family. And because not just really paying bills, barely struggling. But before we will dive into this topic, I'm gonna hear Coach Dustin's also journey. He is
Mm-hmm.
very, very successful, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure will inspire everyone here today.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I kind of can relate to like some of your story, right? And just kind of talk to me about it. I think, a lot of us are kind of feel, especially in life, is that it just feels like we're just here to pay bills and then die. Right. That's just what it feels like.
Yes,
We're here to work. We're here to pay all those bills. And then what? Right. And then the little pieces of time that we get to ourselves to enjoy those precious moments that we should not only have small time frames of that, but big time frames of that, right? And I know sometimes it feels surreal or unachievable, but you and I are here today to talk about it and living proof that it is achievable to have
yes,
that time freedom and to have that financial freedom to do the things that you enjoy, right? So just like I was a nurse for 16 years. I'm actually boss free now. I don't work anymore. I quit my job last month. So thank God,
yes,
right? It still feels surreal that I actually can say that I'm boss free. Didn't think that would ever happen. And then also too, not only that, but I'm debt free at 39. But it wasn't always like that for me, right? When you look back when it's for 16 years ago when I first started my nursing job, right? Obviously, like yourself, you get into nursing to help people. You have that love and desire to help others, right? That's what we do when it comes to nursing, right? Empathetic, caring, like loving, all those things to help give back to other people. When you circle back to this business, that's what we're doing, right? We're helping people,
yes,
right? In a different way. It comes to financial freedom, it comes to time freedom, right? Those little areas of our lives that we want to somehow get back is what we're now allowing people to do, right? So I
yes,
wasn't always here, right? For me, my journey was difficult, right? I was always one of those people who would start something and then give up, right? Or start something and think I was going to fail. Whether it was nursing, whether it was this business, anything in life, I was kind of being like, yeah, I'm going to fail it. So there's no point in doing it. Or I didn't do it to my best of my ability because I thought I was going to fail anyways. So you know what that's in a way what that's like. You kind of think you're going to fail at something, so you don't give it 100%, right? So
yes.
then,
Totally
you know,
agree.
right? So 6 years, or 5 years into nursing, 4 years in nursing, I still started feeling the same way. I was questioning whether this was for me. I was questioning whether I made the right career choice. I think some of us, or most of us, go through that phase in life where we kind of think, did I make the right career choice? Because you are so much taken away from things that are important to you. Not only are you taken away from family, you miss out on those precious holidays, you miss out on those moments on like, seeing your kid grow up, or maybe the first steps of your children, or, the first words of your children, because you're always working, right? Working those holidays, working those night shifts, working those long hours. So I felt it, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
like 6 years ago, I was like, I need something different, right? I'm sick and tired of sleeping during the day while everyone else is working. I'm tired of working those weekend shifts while everyone else is working, and I needed something new. And
Yes.
that's, yeah. So that's when I found, came across this business, just like you and I stumbled upon a Facebook ad, right? And I was like, okay, this sounds really cool. This sounds really neat. And that's where I jumped in. full
Yeah.
on, gave it my all, right? Within my first year of my business, I made $170,000, which still feels surreal to me, right?
Oh,
Second year, right? I also made six figures as well, right? And like I just said, now, fast forwarding 6 years after starting my business, I'm now boss free and debt free at 39,
wow.
right? So,
That's amazing. And
yeah,
coach, there's so many people can relate to your journey. Like in a nursing career and healthcare worker. Like we're so grateful to have the opportunity. But when we said nurses, we think we earn a lot of money, but really, we just barely survive to pay bills to our daily grind.
yeah, yeah.
So really, when it comes to the point that when you retire at the age of 60, 70, and nowadays the age is keep going up.
I know. I
I
know.
realized that, coach, what I realized is there's so many people that would in the retiring when they retired, they get sick, they don't have no time to enjoy their life.
No, they don't.
So I could not, like, for me, like I realized, I said I don't want to be like I'm one of those that when I retired I'll be like 70 plus and then I don't have energy to enjoy the life. Instead you will be in bed, like sick, weak. There is no life there. But what really is, people always say that when they said it's impossible, that can be true. Like there's so many probably have doubts, self doubts when it comes to social media. But
Mm,
what's coach, we are living proof of what's possible in the online world.
yeah,
Can you
yeah.
imagine coach Dustin is like retired and become debt free at the age of 39, and there
Mhm.
is so many people in our community, coach. Like the youngest I believe is 23
Yeah,
to
right. Doesn't
retire.
matter your age. And to retire at 23, can you imagine being retired at 23? And not only is she retired at 23, she is financially like talk about set for
Yes.
life, building,
Mhm.
homes for her family's back in the Philippines, making, six figures a month, right? Like she is set for life, right? And that's
Pretty
what we're
much.
doing in this business. And I know that people are like, well, how is that possible? Or it's too good to be true. Well, again, what I tell people like that, I mean, why would I be on here at 9 p.m. at night speaking to yourself and everyone else if this wasn't the real deal, right? Or why would I share my story if it wasn't changing my life and so many others, right? And just not only that, but to circle back when we talk about pension, right? I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, we could even be 70 or 65 and retire and be physically fit and still have a good life. But realistically, what are you getting paid from a pension, right?
Yeah.
I quit my job, and of course, they give you your little pension plan because I was paying into a pension, for 16 years being a nurse. And if I continue forward and pay into that pension, it would probably go up, right? But if I never pay into that pension plan again for the nursing career that I've done, do you know how much money that they would pay me at the point of withdrawing at 60? Do you want to
You
know
would
how much they would pay me a month? $700 a month I would get from my pension plan a month. $700. What do you think someone at age 60 or 65 is going to do with $700 a month if they don't have, their mortgage paid off, if they don't have a car paid off? Can you imagine? You can't even survive, right?
yes, that is
So
the biggest, like like nowadays, really, especially the cost of living is going up, and then it really kills the who like retired people, because their pensions never goes up. Instead everything it goes up. But you know what I realized, coach Dusty, there's one of our Zoom, I believe he's one of the oldest in our community as well. I believe he's like 70 plus. He really cried. He realized that all his life, how come he never see this opportunity, this amazing business
yeah,
opportunity, because he realized all his life he always prioritize other people, like helping others, what make them feel good, comfortable. But when it comes to himself, because we have here trained so many trainings, mindset, like the business, because really growth builds, like it happens here, your growth, all, the whole
yeah,
package,
yeah, right,
and then it really breaks my heart when he shared the story that I think it's time for me to focus on myself and
yeah,
to build something that I can pass on, like for generations to come. And really, for our audience who are watching this, it- I'm sure you'll get inspired for this live today. Oh, don't wait for the perfect time, and everything is possible and your dream is within reach. Imagine coach Dustin here. He's very successful in the online business, and I am headed there as well,
hmm
soon.
Mhm.
I'll be there. But
But you're already there,
nothing is
right? It's just that
impossible.
gonna be that much better, right? You're already
Yes,
there. It's just getting better for you, right? So
nothing is impossible in this business. It's 100%. We're global, the biggest digital community in the world, I should say. I think, right? We are.
yeah,
Um, and can you imagine both of us? Coach Dasi is a nurse for 16 years. I'm a healthcare worker. We have no business background, no computer background, and we all came from different profession.
yeah,
But the beauty in our community is we all start from the first uh, tab in our training. You know, everyone started from the first tab in our training site until we build our business
yeah,
successfully.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
Well, I mean, like you said, right, to circle back to something that you made a comment on about don't wait for the perfect time, but
yeah,
realistically, is there ever a perfect time though? There's never a perfect time. There's never going to be like the universe giving you a sign that tomorrow is the right time to move forward with something, right? You just have to kind of just take that leap of faith no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're doing, right? There will never be a perfect time. It's not like it's going to be like, yay, today is the day, you know what I mean? It just won't
yes.
happen. And that's just that the perfect time is when you feel it right and making that intuition and making that step to know, okay, I'm doing this today for myself and taking that leap. That's the perfect time, right? That's the perfect
Yes.
moment because then you are thinking then about yourself, right? Like you said about this individual who's 70 plus, right? And it's even
Yeah.
circling back that it just shows that there's no age requirement in this business, right? Like you said, you can see from as young to as old. For example, we have this amazing individual in our business as well that she's 64. She lost her job, right? Suddenly out of nowhere, she was laid off and she got into this business. And 6 months in, she was making $30,000, $40,000 a month, right? Because she
Yes.
believes so much in the system, in the business, right? And again, another beautiful thing about this business is that we know that it's lucrative. We know that it's legitimate because we're getting T4s at the end of every year from the government in Canada. You guys in America are getting
1099.
1099s to do
Yes.
your taxes, and then you're seeing massive refunds as well from that, right? Because when you have your business, you can write things off. No matter what it is, you can write it off, right? And then also too, that's a beautiful thing. And then not only that, we're doing attraction marketing. What that means is we're attracting people to us through our content creation, through things like this today, through advertisements, through marketing, right? Through social media advertising. We're not
Yes.
taking a product and trying to directly sell it and trying to convince someone to buy a product from us. That's not how it works, especially in this day and age. Everyone uses a social media platform. And that's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about our business, right? So if I
Yes.
had to host a party, if I had to sell a product, if I had to convince, or if I had to recruit, if I had to chase people, no, I
That's
wouldn't be
not
doing
for
it.
me.
No, exactly.
No,
And
I
like you
wouldn't be
said,
here.
right. And like you said, right, our training platform is so amazing because I didn't have any experience when it came to a business, mindset. I didn't know what a business looked like, right? And I'm getting to the point now where I'm incorporating my business, right? And so I got to pay
Yes.
someone to incorporate. So again, another legitimate thing to know that our business is legitimate when you are incorporating a business, right? So you got to go pay someone to incorporate your business, right? Especially in Canada,
Yes.
right? And then you have it for as long as you have your business, right?
Yeah.
So another thing that just makes it so successful, right? So again, I didn't post on Facebook. I didn't post on Instagram very much. I actually disliked it. And now it's that thing that you grow to love, right? Because for me, it's like, this is my business. This is my life now. So you grow to love
Yes.
it, right? But you find ways. And, our training platform is so like step by step that anybody can do it. Again, it doesn't matter if you're super young. It doesn't matter if you're super old. You can. And another amazing thing is like we talk about with our like logo or slogan is that you can take the business anywhere, right?
Yes. And coach, I love the way you said that, there is no perfect timing, because there is no perfect timing. It's
Yeah,
just a matter of when are you going to be willing to get out of your comfort zone. When you eventually say yourself, I have enough. This is it. I'm looking for something, because no one can say that to you, can make that decision for yourself. I've
yeah,
been through that decision, that I really I was exhausted and tired, emotionally, physically, and mentally.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, but for all of us, really, whoever's watching this, is you have to make that decision for yourself.
yeah,
When you decide to get out of your comfort zone, this is not an overnight success. As what Coach Dustin, that when we were in the beginning, we don't know about social media. We don't even want to deal with social media. We don't. But as we go, as we learn the process, we learn to love this business, because in the end, this is our business.
right.
And
Yeah,
then it's worth. every time and effort you put in here, you will harvest it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And you know, and it's great too because we're not only just learning a business, we're learning more than that, right? We're being brought into a community where you feel like these people are family, right? So yeah, you
Yes.
and I are speaking, right? But when we meet up at a convention in June, right, in San Diego, it's like your family, right? That's just what I love about this business. But not only that, we are really focusing on mindset too, right? Law of attraction,
Yes.
mindset, gratitude, those things bring everyone together as well, right? Which is a beautiful thing because we know when it comes to mindset, anything in life, if you like negative attracts negative, right? Positive attracts
Yeah.
positive, right? So we learn that through this business as well. So, you know, and like, you know, kind of shifting gears a little bit here, you know, I was just in Mexico 3 months or 3 weeks ago and I had my business with me. Right. And then, like you said, going to San Diego, taking your business with you, right? To have a bucket list, you know, I've had a bucket list for years of my life. And a lot of those years of my life had certain destinations that I've wanted to go to. And now it's like, oh my God, I actually have the time freedom and the finances to be able to go to those places that I've so wanted to desire. And anytime I go to those places, I can take my business with me. Right.
Yes. And
So
you know
if you
what's
want
the
to explore the
beauty?
world, you can.
Yeah, and you know what's the beauty about this business, coach, is that wherever you go, your business is with you, and then when you, because I believe US and Canada is we do receive checks, but most different countries they do direct deposit. But the beauty is that like most people when they come home from their vacations, from their travel, they have tons of checks that they
Yeah.
waiting for them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because it's true. You know, we are global, and then you can bring your business while you are traveling, since our topic here exploring the world with your loved ones and with this business with you, you
Yeah.
know. That's
Yeah.
how amazing, because I did for me I am going to start my, you know, exploring soon but not yet, and coach Dustin is started his
Yes.
journey
Very much so.
traveling, enjoying the world, you know.
Mhm.
When finances is not an issue, you when of course, because most of people who are going to be watching this were like we came from working full time, you know, we're all grateful to have the opportunity, you know, to have the job. And this business when we started is pretty much the full time is funded this business, that the business is really funded our freedom, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the beauty is that the business really once the finances is you achieve that, and then you get also the time, you can do whatever you love in this world.
Yeah.
You will love to help people, you love to help rescue animals, to serve the world of the way how you want, you know,
Yeah.
create your
Yeah.
own, or what we call here building your dream life, you know. And
Yeah.
it's proven, coach Dustin, and mine life as well, it changed a lot. And in our community we can see and observe how they started and be successful and enjoy their life, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
for
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
nope, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but we also know too that you know we were in the same boat. Like we talked
Yes.
about coming into this business. It's not like anybody came into this business, you know, without debt. Oh my goodness, that was the whole premises of
Oh
coming into
yeah.
business to try to find something that would help us get out of debt. Right? When I came into this business, I was $65,000 in debt. I was inundated in debt, like swimming in debt, and that's what you hear that people are struggling all the time with, right? But that is the beauty of this business, and that is what got me out of debt. It's not my nursing job. No, it is
Yes.
this business. You know, my nursing job is not the thing that bought me a property or bought me multiple properties, right? It's this business, right, that helped me do that. So, right, it's not nursing. Yeah, we did get paid. You know, I got paid okay money, pretty good money. It's not like it was amazing. But not only that, you know, you look at doctors and lawyers and those type of people coming into this business and they make amazing money, right? But they're not
Yeah.
coming into the business then for money. They're coming into the business for time freedom because
Time
they're taken
freedom.
away from their family and they're missing out on those precious moments that they are no longer get because then they're working so many hours that they're away from the people they care
Yes.
about,
Yeah,
right?
and you know what I love about you mentioned that we, you know, like that, you know, like I'm gonna share about my coach. When she first started this business, she was also a nurse but retired long time ago. She have five, I believe her five credit card max out. But of course, there are probably people probably said, "Yo, how am I gonna start when all my credit cards are max out?" There is a lot of way if you want to start something, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because oh really all of us, when there's emergency, when we said we don't have money, but when there's emergency comes, we always find way, you know. It's
yeah,
the same. If
yeah,
you want to change your life, your situations, you have to find a way. Here we have
Yeah.
so many options, like financing options. There's so many options in our community, and you start your business the way how you want to start. If you want to be all in, there you can. But if you want to be just start a little, you can as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the great thing too. But that's just like also as well. I always tell people like, if what do you do? Like what do kids do, or what do teenagers do, or whomever do if they want a car that they want, right? Sometimes they got to work harder. Sometimes they got to save a little bit more to make that purchase. It's the same thing when it comes to a business or anything in life, right? Maybe it's like I don't buy that coffee every day, or maybe I don't go to the movies all the time, or maybe I don't buy out food all the time, right? You find ways to save money to make something that is going to be a change for your not only short-term
Yes,
period, long-term period of life, right?
yes, I
So that
totally
is the
agree.
beauty, right? I always look at myself being 39 and I'm like, why I don't, I'm job free now, and I also am debt free. Like it still doesn't kind of register fully in my head.
It's like
But I
it's like
mean,
a dream.
right, but I mean, it's just started, right? Some days I'm like, it's only been a month and I'm like trying to find out what am I going to do, right? I'm not used to this. You're trying to find, but obviously it's a lot of time spent on my business because I love it, right? And now
Yes,
I'm also able to plan things, go out, see my family whenever I choose to, right? Not feeling stressed out. I can take care of my health more often. I can eat healthier because I'm not rushed to do certain things, right? And that's the thing.
yeah.
Now I can focus on me,
Yeah.
me and what I
And you
need.
know what, Coach, I love about when you said that there's so many doctors here. They're not here for money, they're here for the time freedom. Because really, for so many doctors, yes, the money is good, but most of the time they spend at the hospital.
Yeah,
They are have a beautiful houses, but they are not there. They're living in the hospital.
yeah,
So that's why there's so many doctors, nurses, engineers, or all
lawyers.
different backgrounds in our
Yeah,
community, because
yeah,
they want to achieve that time freedom that
yeah.
everyone wants.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to have that time freedom?
Right. And it's not like we talked about it too. It's a global business, right? So you have
Yes.
people from all over the world. You do. You have people from, in this business from Canada. We have people from Fiji. We have people from Sweden. We have people from Africa. We have people from India. It's just a global business and it operates
Yeah.
from anywhere in the world. And that's another amazing
Yes.
thing, right? We just had someone in our community just come back from, a long months in the Philippines because they were back spending time with their family and giving back to their family. And now they're here and then they go back. We also have people who are operating their business from the Philippines, right? Who are living in Canada, but who have gone there because it's just changing their life in so many different ways. We've had people here who've started as janitors or PSW, so personal support workers, and then fully investing in this business and seeing so much success that they're like,
Yes. It's like
you know,
amazing.
yeah. So
Oh my God, like the you can see where they came from. To like, it's really up to us how we manage and run this business, because the skies is the limit here.
mhm,
We're
mhm,
seeing from housekeeping to seven figures earner in our community.
yeah,
It's amazing how the potential of this business, really. And now they're living in their dream life, as what our topic here, really. But let's insert about that people were really, how are you going to earn that? How, where you get the earning, not through social media. I'm just gonna clarify, because I think I know it's other topic, but most people, that's what they really asked. But we do have a biggest company, the biggest company that we are partner with, but we don't do the product, no selling. We don't do that, because of our system that we had, that Coach Dustin mentioned earlier. That's
yeah,
what, we are just promoting the lifestyle, the freedom that everyone wants in here, and as what and that company that we're partner is been in the business for gonna be 51 years.
mhm,
It's,
mhm.
if it's not legit business, it wouldn't last for 51 years, I
Well,
believe.
not only that, but they wouldn't be a billionaire company. They wouldn't be around for that long. Like
Yes.
I said, I'm sure they would be closed down by now if they weren't a legit company, right? And not only that, but like you said, right? It's the attraction marketing, it's the social media advertising, right? You're not having to chase anybody. They're coming to us through this
Yes.
business, right? Not one. So we call cold marketing, and that's what I love, right? I'm touching people who are in America, who are in the United Kingdom, who are in Australia, and I'm here in Canada, right? Because I'm able to do that,
Yes.
right? I'm
It's
able to market
global.
to people. It's
And
global,
nowadays,
right?
Coach, is like everyone is using cell phone, scrolling social media.
Yeah.
So for me, like, why not use that as an income streams?
Mhm,
And that's
mhm,
why we're here, because we
mhm.
are get out of our comfort zones. And we, of course, in the beginning, we don't come out like this, how confident we are to talk. But as you go, you practice along the way, and then
Yeah,
when you see the potentials of the beauty of this business, you will realize that Why would I worried about what other people think? It's an amazing business.
Well, yeah, my saying for that is, what other people think of me is none of my business, right? Because realistically, at the end of the day, it's not my business, right? So that's what I take from it all. That's what I carry from this now. I was sure wasn't like that, a couple years ago, right? But
Yes,
now it's just
same.
like realistically, who cares, right? And that's why I take pride in what I do. I love what I do. And if someone else wants to tear me down because of what I do, that's okay. I just prove them wrong. Right. And I'm living
Yes.
proof of that. Right. That, I mean, where else can we see other than other millionaires or other people in this business who can say they're boss free at such a young age or who are debt free? It's not to like boast or anything about anybody. It's here to inspire people to be like, hey, this is a real deal. Take action, move forward. You can do
Yeah.
this, right? That's what it's about. It's never once about to like boast or anything like that. It's to inspire. It's to show that we're living proof that, the business is changing lives. And not only that, like you said, to
Yes.
circle back, we have an amazing company that we do the attraction marketing for, right? Who's been around for 51 years. That's a billionaire company. Obviously, they treat people very well because you capture almost 100% of that commission to yourself. So we're not a pyramid scheme. We're not an MLM, right? We're not any of those things. And it's legit, like we talked about, because we're getting T4s, 1099s, doing our write-offs, and so much more.
Yeah, there is so much more in our community, really. Before we keep going and continue
I
inspire
know.
other people, we do have audience there watching for us.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations is watching from. Thank you so much, sisters. And we have one from the Philippines. Watching from the
Watching from the
Philippines.
Philippines. See?
Yes.
Watching from the Philippines. Love
Thank
it.
you so much for watching. That's how global we are, and really, as what Coach Dustin were talking, that you can travel. He went to Mexico and bring this business, because that's what really the beauty of this business. Just your phone. I think pretty much you can operate with your phone, Coach. Right? Did you manage
100%.
that
Right, that's all
fully?
I did, right? Well, I mean, you're doing obviously I brought my laptop with me going to Mexico, right? I did, go lives from there. I did coaching calls, which is what we do. It's part of, our business as well, where you coach other people, right? So you did your advertising from Mexico, but you only need a phone, right? That's all you really
Yes.
need. If you want
Can you
anything more,
imagine
you
that?
can take it with
Wow.
you, right? But yeah, that's all I had with me was that. Nothing more.
Yeah. So really for our audience, because we could stay here longer, but if you are really hungry for change or looking for an opportunity, and if you just imagine or dream the because that's what I did before. If you dream of living your dream life and money is not an issue, and a business that will be with you wherever you go, this is the opportunity that we could share with you, because that's Coach Justin will be happy to be your coach, and I will be happy to be your mentor as well in this journey. Because here it's not every one of us here in this business is we have coach and mentor that will guide us, and the whole community that always be there. Just reach out. Never assume that we know what you're doing. If you're stuck, always remember to reach out. That's what we're as a mentor and coach is to help and guide. So if you really are looking for an opportunity, we have the free workshop that happens twice a week, and we also have the 20 minutes recording replay. If you don't have time, we can offer you, so you can watch and decide and make that decision if this is the opportunity that you've been looking for.
Hmm.
It's a living proof here that what you can achieve. And you can check out to Coach Dustin's Dustin Pretty's Facebook pages, and you can go to mine, Rosalind Adkins here. That's our face social media Facebook, that you can check the journey of what we're doing, and how this business help us. That we could travel with your business with you, when you can really build your dream life. If you really want to. It's not an overnight success, but if you are willing to do the work of what you can achieve, anything is possible.
Yeah, 100%. I love how you said that, right? So basically, the easiest thing for anybody to do watching, anybody that is going to be watching later, if you want additional information, it's just going ahead and going to the little website below that you see in that little red box. If you can't find the website, just reach out to us and we will love to send you our websites to watch the free webinar. Please do so you can get all the information that you need to know and the basics of the business and what it fully entails. So you then can move ahead if that's what you choose to do.
Yes, and one more thing. The reason why make sure to register your legit name and email. So I will be your mentor, or Coach Dusty will you'll be your mentor and coach, because that's how our system would assign your the coach and mentor. Because some people would say, why do I have to register? That's why you have to register legit, name and email. So we will know who will be your mentor and coach in this journey. So
Exactly.
thank you everyone, and thank you so much, coach. And we
Of
had a
course.
wonderful time together here, and hopefully we can do this next week.
We will be doing it much more.
Thank
Okay.
you, and goodbye.